Hello live wires, Heather Boyd Wire here, and welcome to my channel for all kinds of wire art and jewelry making tutorials and live streams. So I posted a pic of this Mandala necklace I made years ago with the little treble clefs. I posted it in the community section and asked you guys if you want a tutorial, and there was enough interest, so today is the tutorial. So I set up the treble clefs on the jig that comes with the wire writing tool from Artistic Wire, and I'm going to use the Artistic 22 gauge tarnish resistant silver. So we're just going to take this and then just use the jig as a guide. You can also do the treble clefs by hand if you prefer, whatever's easiest for you. This is very different from the regular Artistic Wire Deluxe Jig Kit because this is more in a grid formation rather than the configuration on the Artistic Jig. So we're just going to go around all of these to do the basic shapes of the treble clef. Pull it as you go so it gets nice and smooth, and we just want to go like loop around the first one. Okay, give it a good little tug, and then bring it up over that one and down, and then around that one, and keep going along. It's actually easier to do this by hand rather than using the wire writing tool, at least for the thicker wire. This is 22 gauge wire, and the wire writer comes with 24 gauge wire. So you just go like that, and then we're going to clip the end. So then we'll just remove it from the jig. So now we have this kind of formation, and we're just going to do like little adjustments. You're going to have to kind of push these in a little bit. Then we'll just use our round pliers to hold this into shape, and then we're just going to push that in to form our treble clef. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go in and push them all in like that. If you have to adjust it a bit, you can just wiggle this around, and we're going to set up all the treble clefs. Once we have all the treble clefs formed, we're just going to kind of rotate them in so the tips are towards the center, and this is what's going to make the round kind of form. So just take them, rotate it. If you don't have a jig, you can just use the same idea. So you want them to all go towards the center, and it's going to make a kind of a circle. So then from there, you're going to have to decide how big your circle is going to be. If you need to do an extra treble clef, go ahead. So if we take this like this one, it's going to be about that size, maybe a little bit bigger. So we'll just take some 18 gauge wire, bend it around here at a right angle, and then get our first circular form, bring it in around just to get the right size shape. Push it a little further than the top just so you have a little bit of give, and then we can just place it here. See how big the circle should be. So if we place that overlap, kind of put it on here, that looks like it's going to be about right. And so now we can just take this and wind it around. And you want to go around a few times because we want to have an outer frame as well. So just go around a few times. You can do the twist as tight as you want. And the idea is to have room to put some beads in there. So if you have to like bring it down to make it a little more narrow, you can do that too, depending on what size beads you want to put in there. And then we'll get a larger circle and bring it around the outside. So just around here, go a little beyond what you think you need. And then just compare it to see if you have an even border around the outside. So that looks pretty good. Be extra precise so it doesn't slip. Just put your round pliers where you need that bend and help it out with a little bend first so it won't slide. And then we're just going to go a full turn around, give it a little clip, and press it in. And then you can do whatever kind of bail that you want at the top. So just bend it that way. Get your looping pliers or some round pliers and just go around however many times you want. It's nice when you go around a couple of times, whatever you think looks good. And then just take this one, and I like to wind it around to make it extra solid, and then give it a little clip. So now we want to attach this one in the frame. So we're just going to take this one here, position it in place, and then wind this around. Just find whatever is the easiest way for you to attach it. If you have a better technique, just let me know. We're going to attach that one there, clip it, and then this one has to like do full circle around and come and be placed sort of near there. So it's just going to line up. So you try to get your even-ish spacing. I'm just going to bring this one here, bring it in a bit if you have to, and then we're going to wind it around as well. So just bring it in here, push it a little bit to get it in the right place, bring that around. You can go around a couple of times. You can hide this wire with another wire after, so we're going to clip that. So now we see we have this mandala shape in the middle, which is super cool. I'm really happy with how it turned out on the jig. And now we're going to wind some wire around the outside with some beads. If you want to put beads all the way around, you can. Otherwise, you can space them out with wire. So I'm going to take a 22 gauge piece of wire. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'll just slide it in there, and then sort of halfway through the wire, you can just measure the ends and bring it to the halfway point, and then we're just going to wind it around. So just bring it around, and I'm going to actually push it through. Amber taught me how to wind wire like this just by pushing it through with your thumb. I think it's a great idea. So like you just kind of, actually with your thumb or finger, so you just kind of push it through and then bring it up like that. So then now we're going to put a bead on there. So just take your bead. So we're going to take it in there, hold this in place, and then push it through here. So same thing, we can just push it through that way, bring it through, and then down here again. You could do it. There's enough room that we could push it either way through. And then to here, and then we want to wind it like through another time. There. Bring it up to the outside circle again, and then wind it through another couple times, and then we're going to put our next bead. And what you want to do too is catch the treble clef as you go. So just when it's in the right position, just give it a little wrap into the treble clef, bring this one around, and then you can even go on the other side of the treble clef. However, you know, you think it should be positioned, you're just gonna have to go with how it looks depending on the size of your treble clefs and the size of your loops. So now we're gonna do another little loop around here, and then back and put another bead. Just as you go, just gauge how these should be. So this should be like around here, push that around here. You want them somewhat centered. So I ended up unlooping this part so I have more wiggle room with the circle. So definitely don't attach this until you've done the beads around the outside. You'll see I have a little more give with that piece. So I'll leave it open until I've done the wrapping, and we're just going to keep going around, keep wrapping until we get up to there. So when you get to the end, I've just twisted it around that last treble clef, and I'm just going to clip the end. And same over here, have a look at, you know, where you're at with that. See if you need to add another bead or not. It's up to you what you think looks good. So now you can adjust it in a way that this frame will be as tight as you want. You have more wiggle room there. So just see that it's somewhat even, and then you can take your needle nose pliers and wind this around. So just wind it around here. You could go around once or twice, however you like. Looks good. So now we're just going to clip it, and we'll fix up our bail again. We didn't really have to undo it, but it was easier to access that if we undid the bail. So we're just going to bring that one around, and same thing, we're just going to finish it up here and give it a little clip. And then what you can do with this end is you can just bring it right in, and then to make it extra secure, just wind that around the bottom of the bail, just to give it a little extra security. Give that a little clip. So far it looks amazing, but now we're going to add a little bead in the middle. I actually missed hooking that one into the wire, but it doesn't, you can't really notice once it's all together, but you can definitely loop all of those in. And if you have to like adjust the treble clefs, if they've got a little bit distorted, you can definitely like push this around, adjust them, center them, you know, so they're a little more perfect. And then we want to add a bead in the middle. So I'm going to get a 6mm hematite bead. I'm going to put the 22 gauge wire on there, just bend it so it's like that. And then I'm going to take these ones and just decide which ones I want to put it through. We're going to go through like halfway, so one here, leave 3 in the middle, and then put it to the other one here so they're at opposite sides. And then you can just take this on the back and pull it in place. So we're just going to pull it straight across. You can wind it through again if you want it to be more secure. Otherwise, you can just give it a little clip on one side and a little clip on the other side. I probably could have gone slightly smaller with the circle just so these areas overlap. But for the most part, they do look like treble clefs. Some of them are a little bit off. You can always do a little bit adjusting, but the overall look is really cool, and especially it looks almost like a flower in the middle, and it's all treble clefs. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.